I never thought the person who would take away my freedom would be the woman I trusted with my life. My wife always said I was too calm, too forgiving, too patient. I believed love meant giving space, believing explanations, ignoring small doubts. That belief is what allowed her to build an entire second life while standing right beside me. It started with distance, late nights, sudden business trips, new passwords. When I asked questions, she didn't argue. She flipped the script. She told people I was unstable, that I imagined things, that I was controlling. By the time I realized how far the lie had gone, I was already surrounded by it. One evening, she came home with police officers. She stood behind them, arms crossed, eyes dry, while they told me there had been a report. Accusations I couldn't believe were being said out loud. She avoided my gaze the entire time. I kept waiting for her to say it was a mistake. She didn't. I was taken away that night, confused, humiliated, and heartbroken. The walls were cold. Time moved slowly. Friends stopped answering. Family was unsure what to believe. And my wife, she didn't visit once. That's when the truth began to surface. A man from her work. Long-term. Not secret to everyone, just to me. And when she realized I was getting close to finding out, she chose the fastest way to silence me. Lock me up. Remove me from the picture. Continue her life without resistance. But she underestimated one thing. Silence gives you time to think. And I used every moment. I didn't fight blindly. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I listened. I documented. I remembered every inconsistency, every timeline that didn't add up. And when I was finally released, cleared after the story began collapsing under its own weight, I didn't go home. I went to a lawyer. What my wife didn't know was that months before everything happened, I had quietly moved assets into a separate trust on professional advice. What she also didn't know was that her messages, ones she thought were deleted, were backed up automatically to a shared device she forgot existed. I waited. She thought she'd won. She moved into a better apartment, traveled, smiled in photos, told people she was finally free. She even laughed about me once, saying I'd never recover. That's when I sent the gift. It arrived on a Tuesday morning, wrapped neatly. No return address. Inside was a single folder and a small box. When she opened the folder, she saw copies, documents, messages, timelines, everything. Proof of the affair. Proof of false statements. Proof that the story she told the world had cracks big enough to fall through. Then she opened the box. Inside was a key and a note. It read, "You locked me away. This unlocks what's left." That key belonged to a storage unit, one she didn't remember signing for. Inside it were personal items she cared deeply about, things she'd left behind assuming she'd come back for them, along with something else. Legal papers. She screamed when she realized what they were. Divorce filings, financial disclosures, a request for restitution, and noticed that the assets she believed were shared weren't anymore. Her phone started ringing immediately. Lawyers, family, the man she thought would stand by her, who disappeared the moment legal trouble became real. She called me over and over. I didn't answer, not because I wanted revenge in a loud, dramatic way, but because the calmest response is often the most devastating. She had taken my voice once. I wasn't giving it back so easily. In the end, I didn't lock her up. I locked the lies away. She lost more than she expected. Trust, stability, reputation. I lost years, but I gained something far more important. My freedom. That gift wasn't meant to hurt her. It was meant to remind her that even when you silence someone, the truth doesn't stay quiet forever.